Is your mindset keeping you stuck? Let's talk about it. Hey family, I'm Janelle Allen, Learning and Marketing Strategist for course creators. If you're new here, first and foremost, welcome. I'm happy to have you. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to click the subscribe icon and don't forget to click the little bell next to it so that you don't miss another video. Okay, this episode is going to be very different. I watched a podcast recently, actually the Social Proof podcast with David Shands and Donnie. This episode was with David and Donnie Wiggins, David Shands and Donnie Wiggins. And it was a great episode. This podcast is quickly becoming one of my favorite podcasts. I watch the episodes regularly now. Donnie said something that really made me stop in my tracks. And she said, if you're not killing it, why are you doing it? And that hit me because the way that I interpreted what she said is, if you're not doing what it takes to succeed, why are you doing it? If you don't want to be successful, why are you doing it? If you're a business owner, if you have said you want to do a thing, but you find yourself not doing what it takes, then you got to ask yourself that hard question, right? And I have been there, which is why it really hit me, because I had that moment I've had that moment many times. You know, as an entrepreneur, you know, it's a roller coaster. There's going to be days where you feel great and you're in love with your business. And then there's going to be days where you just want to throw everything away and go do something else. That's just part of it, right? That's normal. It's part of every entrepreneur I talk to has that moment. For me, my most recent time was in 2020. In May of 2020, I put everything on pause in my business because I was having a lot of uncertainty. And then everything hit with George Floyd and the pandemic was already started. And I was just like, okay, I'm not feeling like I want to do what it takes right now. So I paused, and that was really hard. One of the reasons I paused was to figure that out. What is the purpose here? And what's interesting is I did end up figuring that out. You know, for me, money is never the motivator alone. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. Money is great. But I need something in addition to that. And I needed to take that break to figure out what it was. And for me, it's impact. I need to impact people's lives. That's what lights me up. Anyway, recently, I did a special enrollment period for my program, Finish Your Damn Course. And I want to talk to anybody who wants to create a course right now. I did a special enrollment period for my program, Finish Your Damn Course. And so many people reached out and said, Janelle, really want to join, but I'm not ready. I don't have an audience, or I don't have an email list, or, just a lot of different reasons. And here's what I want to say. If you are just starting out and you recognize that you're not ready to create your course yet, you're still building your audience and you want to focus on that, kudos to you. You're doing exactly what you should be doing. You know, when I interviewed Courtney Saunders for my podcast, Level Up Your Course, she said something amazing, which is you need to have the infrastructure in place for the education to matter, to impact your business. And, that's one of the reasons why my group program has prerequisites. You need to have an email list. You need to have an audience. You need to have a business. You need to have a process that you can package up and sell, because those are the things that it takes for you to be successful in the program. And this video isn't about the program, but it's very relevant. So for anyone starting out who recognized I had some great people email me and say, hey, I'm working on building my list, but next time I'm in. Cool. I love that. Love to see it. For anyone who is in a different place, we've got to talk about mindset. And that different place is if you have been saying you're going to start your email list for years and you haven't done it yet. If you've been saying you need to build an audience for years and you haven't done it yet. If you've been saying you want to create a course or a business for years and you haven't done it yet, then I come back to what Donnie said. If you're not willing to do what it takes to succeed, why are you doing it? Why are you telling yourself you want to do it? And I'm not trying to be a jerk here, so hang with me. This comes down to mindset, right? There are a lot of things, business development is really personal development. Business problems are personal problems. You grow as you begin to master yourself. You have to get through mindset blocks to get to the next level. You have to tackle and face those things that scare you to get to the next level. And so for anyone who's stuck or not taking action, you've got to ask yourself, why? Why am I saying I want this thing, but when it comes time to do it, I'm not willing to get uncomfortable? I haven't broken that habit. I keep overthinking. I'm sweating the small things instead of taking action, imperfect action, looking into that. So I'll come back to that. I want to talk about lead magnets. And I may have shared this when I did a video on lead magnets. So I'll tell you a story. I used to have a lead magnet when I first started online. I had a lead magnet that did very well, converted very well. It was an LMS platform chart. And basically, I analyzed the features of 4 or 5 different online course platforms and ranked them so people could choose which one was the one for them. People loved it. However, I took it down. Now, you might say, why? Why would you take down a lead magnet that's converting at like 20%? Because that lead magnet created what I call low-level conversations. And again, not trying to be a jerk here, but people would download it, send me an email, say, thank you so much for creating this. Hey, what are your thoughts about this platform? Well, here's my thoughts, right? I give them my thoughts and say, hey, ultimately, you can't go wrong. Just choose one and get started. Now, I would always, when I first started, I made a point to check back in with people who emailed me. So 3, 6, sometimes a year later, I shoot an email. Hey, how's everything going? Did you create your course? No, I'm still on the fence about which platform to use. What? That happened over and over and over. And eventually I got so frustrated, I wrote a blog post that said technology is a distraction. And I took down the lead magnet because it was keeping people in a low-level place of analysis paralysis. It doesn't matter what platform you choose. I've used 3 different course platforms. Just do the thing. Just do the thing. That's what matters. And what matters more is why aren't you doing the thing? It's the same thing with email lists. If you want to create a course and for years you've been saying, I need to grow my email list, but you're not doing it, then the question is why? Do you not feel that you have anything to say? Why is that? Is there some self-worth stuff underneath there? Or maybe you just need to sit down one day and outline some topics that you have something to say about. So if you can't bring yourself, let me take a step back. I'm a strong believer in audience first. Build your audience because it's going to make it easier for you to create your course and all of your products. instead of trying to create the product first, which is what a lot of people do. So I'm a fan of building your audience, starting an email list, putting out free content, creating your course. If you can't bring yourself to start a list, there's things that you can do, right? You can publish your course on a marketplace where they will do the marketing for you. We just talked about that last week. But if you don't do that either, right? There's always multiple ways to solve a problem. If you want to have a course and Janelle says, hey, you need to have an audience and build your list, and you say, hey, Janelle, that's great, but I don't want to do that. And I say, hey, well, then put it up on a marketplace, and you don't do it, now we're back to mindset. What is keeping you stuck? What are those mindset beliefs that are getting in your way? It's time to deal with those. Because it sounds like you may not believe in yourself. It sounds like you may not truly desire what you say you want. Maybe you just like the idea of having a course. Maybe there's something else that you could be doing. Maybe a course is not the best fit for you. Maybe a course is not the best fit for your business model. Maybe you should be writing or public speaking or doing services, right? This doesn't have to be a negative thing. Or maybe you want to have a course because you see other people on Instagram who have courses and seem to be doing really well. Maybe you want the money that you've associated with having a course. And, if it's money, then chances are there's some stuff to explore around money and your relationship with money. The point I'm trying to make is if you're not doing the thing, why do you keep saying you want to do it? Do you truly want to do it? And if the answer is yes, we're back to mindset. You see, we keep coming back to mindset. Motivation, one of the last things I want to say is this. Motivation doesn't matter. A lot of us say, oh, I don't feel motivated. Motivation doesn't matter. And if it does, it's not coming from an external place, right? It has to come from inside. But at the end of the day, whether you feel motivated or not, doesn't matter. Discipline matters. And discipline is something that's developed. I've had people in my life say, oh, I'm not how can I get disciplined? I don't have any discipline. Discipline is developed. You have to practice it. You have to first acknowledge that you're lacking it in some areas and then create some ways for you to build that muscle, because that's all it's like a muscle. It's developed like a muscle. So if you feel like you're not disciplined, my question for you is, what are you doing about it? How are you showing up every day in your business to work on your business? Are you working on this thing that you say you want every day? So this is really about purpose, isn't it? What is yours? What lights you up? Your passion doesn't have to be your purpose. I have a lot of interests and things that I like doing. And for a while, I was confused. I thought, well, I have to build a business around something that I'm really passionate about. No, you don't have to do that. But you've got to figure out what lights you up. Because if you've been saying that you want to do a thing, but you feel this dread when it's time to do it, then we gotta look at that, right? We gotta look at that. So figure out what lights you up and then go do that. Excel in it. Serve others. Create free content and resources. Then create a course. And a lot of people don't like to hear that because it sounds like a lot of work. But here's the thing. If you are mission driven, then it doesn't sound like a lot. If you're really wanting to serve others in this area, it's not a lot. And if it does, and if I say, hey, do X, Y, and Z, and then create a course, and you say, hey, Janelle, I'm not going to do that. Cool. Put your course up on a marketplace. If that's the dream, is to have a course, there's marketplaces for that. And then if you say, well, I'm not going to do that either. Well, now we're back to mindset. What's holding you back? So I'm going to leave you with that. And hopefully it resonated. Find out where the block is. If you feel like you are stuck, and whether you're stuck from starting, right? Maybe you just can't seem to start. Explore that. Maybe you start, but you feel like you plateau. You're stagnant. You're in the same place year after year. It's time to explore why. Do you not believe that you can be successful? Figure out where the block is and get help breaking through it. That might be a therapist. I'm a big fan of therapy. It's changed my life. It might be a business coach. It might be personal development books. But figure out what it is and start to work on it, because it is vitally important for your success. It's vitally important that I work on my stuff for my success. Every single person has to work on their stuff. It all starts internally. There's not enough courses in the world that are going to help you dig into that stuff. You have to face it and work on it. You have to believe that you can do the thing. I'm going to say that one more time. You have to believe that you can do the thing. You have to believe that you are worthy of the thing. And you have to want to do it. You have to have the desire to do it. And if you don't, then it's time to do something else. Maybe your something else is doing some deep personal development work for a year. I don't know, but I want you to figure out what lights you up. I want you to dig into what's holding you back so that you can find success. All right. Like I said, I'm going to wrap there. Give me some love down in the comments. Let me know if you have anything to share about mindset. If you want to share what are some things you're working on, or if you have any questions about mindset, pop them down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe.